Welcome to the EPO show sponsored by Spin City. And this week, we're going to be talking about what has just been transpired throughout this week. But before we go to the talk, I want to congratulate our previous winner who won a massive $10 for his participation in this show. So if you want also to win prizes, there are lots of prizes, including monies and other gifts that you can get from Spin City. You just interact with us, give a commentary and a response in the comment section on this YouTube channel, and you also stand a chance to win. And to joining me in the studio today, I have Mr. Bruce and Mr. Makiwa. Welcome, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thank you
Hi,
so much.
Alec.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Hi,
Yeah,
Bruce.
yeah.
Hi, Makiwa.
I see it has been an eventful weekend, and there's been a lot of twists and turns and debates. But before I go to that, how has been the week for you guys?
Well, it was a bit quiet. Last week there was no action, and so I was looking forward to this weekend a lot because we need the action. We need the
But
action always.
interesting. But Bruce, what do you take of Ronaldo's goal before you say that there was no action?
You mean Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah. That shot outside the 18-yard box, man.
It was fabulous. It was fabulous. It was me. I'm still looking forward to for Ronaldo to reach 1,000 goals. So if he keeps on scoring goals like that, I think it'll be very very spectacular and very very important.
But Makiwa, do you think that he can?
Hello.
Makiwa, do you think that Ronaldo can reach 1,000 goals?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I must admit that the goal was quite brilliant. It shows you Ronaldo is an exceptional player. But I think it was very strategic by moving to the Farmers League, because he can farm a lot of those goals without a lot of a lot of challenge. So the 1,000 goal challenge isn't going to be much difficult for him. I mean, he can do that every week.
No, but look at Messi. He moved to another famous league. They lost 3-0 yesterday.
Yeah, I think Messi is not putting in as much work as Ronaldo. Ronaldo has a strong work ethic, he's a hard worker. Messi, on the other hand, I think is talent, and I think him moving to America is more of the money and just relaxing. This guy is no longer looking to break records and all that. I think he has given up on trying to break records, because Ronaldo is trying to break every record that there is to in football.
Oh, quite interesting. And we want to go into this weekend's special. And I want to start with Chelsea. Bruce, you see Chelsea, they drew with, what was the team they drew 2-2 with? And it was actually a late equalizer that it was Brentford, right?
Brentford,
Yeah,
yes.
yes, it was Brentford.
Yeah. Well, what do you take of Chelsea's performance in that game? Do they have a chance somewhere there in the top?
Okay, I think for me, Chelsea, because if you look at their lineup, it is a team that the coach put because they are mainly preparing for their game against Bayern Munich. So I think that is their main priority now. So the team that they put at first, before they went on to put Cole Palmer, who's also coming from injury. I think their main focus was to put those players when they're going to play against Bayern Munich. So for Chelsea, I think they've already given up on playing for getting the EPL title. So I think their main focus now is to maybe compete in the UEFA Champions League. So I think for by now they are now sure that they won't be able to compete, but also to win the EPL title. So I think that's the issue with Chelsea.
Yeah, but that's quite ironic. I mean, hearing that Chelsea is not putting much effort on the EPL and they won the Champions League. I think winning that trophy in the USA is giving them false hope. But I want to go to my cure. Liverpool got a last minute penalty, man. How
Yes.
what and that maintained their lead on top of Arsenal. What do you take of that penalty?
I am honestly not happy with that ruling. I'm not a professional referee, and so there are a lot of technicalities and a lot of technical jargon to do with what happened to the ball, to the hand, natural position, and an unnatural opposition, and stuff like that. But I mean, this defender was literally his back was given to the striker, so I don't think he was anticipating to stop the ball with his hand, because you wouldn't be able to do that in such a position where the ball is coming from your behind and somehow your leg interferes with the ball and it ends up on your hand. So it's very unfortunate because I think Burnley played so well. They read Liverpool's attacking type of play, and they were able to stop them. I think Salah had a difficult time. The shots that he had were not on goal, So they played very well, and the few moments that they had to do a counter, they tried. But I think they looked like an inexperienced team, but with so much determination and to put in hard work and still prove that you know what they deserve to be in the EPL.
In the APL. Wow, quite interesting. So I'm gonna go to you, Bruce. So considering this performance by Liverpool, I mean, do you see them still as favorites to win the title, or they will fumble it at some time?
Okay, so for me, Liverpool was playing against a Burnley side that was
Burnley.
playing Burnley side that was playing a very, very low block, because it was difficult for them to find chances and also for them to have spaces or to create chances for them to score goals. I understand that Burnley had 10 men, but they were playing like right inside their 18 areas in 18 area side box. So I think for Liverpool, I would still consider them the number one title contenders, and I still believe that they are going to retain this title because we also need to consider their mentality. Because even though Burnley was playing a very, very low block, they never gave up until the very end. So I
Okay,
still consider Liverpool. And also, maybe next week, because I also heard that Isak is not yet match fit. So, with also the reintroduction of Isak into the squad, I'm sure they're going to be a very, very formidable force to
formidable
reckon
team.
with. Yeah.
Okay, then I want to talk about two issues. I'm sure Arsenal are just right there behind Liverpool where they belong. Though they beat Nottingham Forest, I think 3-0. Are we saying that they're gonna break the shackle this season? Because after 4 games, I think we can be able to judge. Makio.
Well, I think we witnessed one of the best displays in football this past Saturday against Forest. It's unfortunate that the credit is now being discredited because of the argument that Forest now has a new coach who's trying to figure out and pick up the scraps from where uh, the previous coach left. But I mean, look, we all witnessed depth in Arsenal, you look at guys like Noni Madueke, brilliant display in the absence of Saka. He stepped up to really show that you know what he deserves to play for a big team like us now. Same thing with Gyökeres. There's been talks about his performance, but he has stepped up. And Zubimendi, wow, what a player! I had my doubts on him, but he showed me that we could still have hopes even in the absence of Partey. He stepped up big time. He was in the all sorts of right places when the ball came to him, and he has the edge to shoot from even outside the box. One touch guy and very impressive, and walked out with 2 goals. So one thing that's still formidable about us now is that any and every player can score. That's how tight the team is. And then lastly, Arsenal has depth right now. You know, we used to have challenges. If Odegaard is out, then we have to crack our head. But right now they have depth. You know, they take out Odegaard, you still have your Nwaneri, the young guys who are still even pushing. Then you take out Califiori, you still have Miles, So I think at the moment Arsenal has depth, enough depth to still have the force even up to the end of the season.
Okay, quite interesting and very detailed. Time will tell. Well, I want to shift our attention to the Manchester Derby, and one of the most powerful teams in history. It continues to be humiliated. I don't think they still deserve that title. Bruce, what is going wrong? I mean, Onana left 3 days ago, and we thought that things are gonna be well.
Well, I think for Manchester United, the players are still playing under a lot of pressure because we still have new guys, the likes of Brian Belmo and also Cunha, who also has an injury. You see, these players came from teams. Belmo came from Brentford. At Brentford, he was performing well and scoring a lot of goals. Cunha came last this season. Last season, he was playing at Wolves, and he was scoring a lot of goals, creating a lot of chances. But as soon as he comes to Manchester United, things started going sideways for him. So I think players who come to Manchester United and players who are already there at Manchester United, there's a lot of pressure to win each and every match because they know if they fail to win even one match, they'll be under a lot of pressure from the fans and the media.
Mhm. But how can you have pressure for 15 years? Because the people that came, Cavani,
Long-term
Ronaldo,
pressure.
Rashford, Lingard. I mean, even that Nigerian guy, this that Nigerian guy, what they call him, his name? I mean, everybody just comes and they fail. Even there's this England guy from Dortmund. What is his name? Uh, he's leaving right now. It's pressure.
Yeah,
If
Okay,
Ten Hag, it was pressure.
yeah,
Ole,
yeah,
it
yeah.
was pressure. What kind of pressure that is not being experienced by any other team?
It's
okay. So if you
spiritual.
look at if you look no 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 first spiritual first. If you look at Arsenal, if you look at Manchester City, if you look at Liverpool, if you look at Chelsea, like their main objective is to win the EPL title because they've won maybe in the last 2 or in the last 3 years. For Manchester United, the main objective is not to win the EPL title. The main objective is to come back to win ways. Then they can talk about winning the title. So they are under a lot of pressure to prove that they are coming to Manchester United and they're a better player than other players who have been maybe sold to other teams, loaned to other teams. So right now the main objective is to win. So they are going into each and every match so that will be able to win, not to win so that they can win the title. Right now the conversation at Manchester United is not even about winning the title, but to come back to winning ways, to be like how we call it, the media call it like a team that is considered to be at par with Manchester United, maybe of 99 or 2000, or the Sir Alex Ferguson, Manchester United. So they're under a lot of pressure to win, not to win the title, but to win each and every match.
Some games to win some games.
No, to win all games.
I think I agree with Bruce there. It's been a tough season, or a prolonged tough season for seasons for Manchester United. But I think it shows you that beyond the skill, beyond the technical expertise of the management, there is some serious stuff going on in the background, in the ownership, top management. I think they have serious problems. We might not get to know and hear all about them, but this is because such display, even from top players like Casemiro, now they are average players, and they have too many problems that are not just about skill, that are not just because when Onana came, he was all hyped up as one of the finest goalkeepers we have ever witnessed in this era of football. Now he's being sent to the Farmers League there in Turkey. So I think Manchester United is not just, it's killing players right now. Today I barely saw the captain Bruno. You know, I only realized that he was in there, I think, second half around the 79th or 80th minute. That, okay, the captain is in there, and I think that highlights a lot of their problems. It's no longer about the skill or depth of the individuals. They seem to be troubled, like they look like troubled souls as they play.
They are under a lot of pressure, like what I was saying.
So yeah, I don't think it's an Amorim issue again. I think it's sadly he's just
It's
caught up
not.
with this. Yeah,
So,
he
so
just
you're
caught up with
saying
this era.
he shouldn't be sacked?
If
Well,
they, even if they sack him, even if
even if they say
they then go on to employ Guardiola, you still fail with Manchester United.
whoever is coming there, if he comes in the midst of these kind of spiritual problems, I,
It's not a
I want to
spiritual,
call
it's
them
a pressure
I
problem.
want to call them spiritual because I think so I want to call them spiritual because at the moment they are not clear, they are not clear what is it, but it's clear that something in the senior management, in the ownership of the team, they have serious problems. That Ronaldo at one time was being assassinated for mentioning some things that have not changed in the Manchester United, even in the dressing rooms and stuff like that. So that's why I'm referring to it as spiritual, because these are not directly communicated to us. We just know there's something happening in the background that's causing a lot of probably frustration, so to speak. But it's a big name, and so even players like Mbeumo will celebrate being part of the big name until they discover that, you know what, we are part of a spiritual problem. We are not part of a problem. That's just my
Okay,
perspective.
quite interesting. I know that this Man United talk will go on and on, but I think we have a thorough analysis of the games, and they're struggling teams like Wolves and Nottingham Forest. Do you think, guys, they're gonna be back? I think in closing.
I think Forest still is a very good team.
Mhm.
The new coach, I don't think the game that they lost to Arsenal really defines their quality and depth. I think if the coach does a good job in getting the guys back in the right mindset, because I also understand there is a management issue with the owner in being interfering with the management and stuff like that. So I think what's his name, Paul La, the new coach, um
The one from was he from
from Tottenham.
Tottenham or something?
Yes, yes, yes. I think the greatest job that he has now is to probably take back the morale that they had when they were winning games and build on that. So because I think they have the depth and capacity to perform at the top.
From there. Okay, and Bruce, what do you take of Wolves? 4 games, 0 points.
I think for Wolves, it also has to do with like they lost some of their players, like players who were creating chances, players who were creating the likes of Cunha. So I think they still have a long way to build the team and to get back to winning ways. So I'm sure for Wolves, maybe they'll need to buy in new players maybe next year in January so that they'll be able to get back to winning ways.
The winning ways. Okay,
Do
quite
they still have the
interesting.
Zimbabwean guy?
Yeah, he's still
Wolves.
there,
Yes,
but I
I
think he's
still do. He's
struggling.
still there. He's
He's
struggling
struggling.
also.
Oh.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much for your perspective. And as always, we're gonna meet again next week. Every Mondays, you can catch up 10 a.m. on YouTube at Lake